Okay, function notation is easily one of my favorite things, like ever. It does the work for you if you know how to use it. Now, we talked about function notation a little bit already when it came to the arithmetic sequence. I'm going to talk about it now as it relates to pretty much everything else. Remember, anytime you see y equals, you can turn that into function notation. So for example, f of x, g of x, just like that, just type it in. When we were doing arithmetic sequence and it was like a sub n equals a sub 1 plus blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, just type in f of x instead of a of n and type in the x and you'll be fine. Like, it's super easy. It does it for you. So what do I mean by that? Well, notice here how it says, what's f of 2? Watch, watch, watch. We go over to the graphing calculator and we type in the rule. F of x equals 3x plus 1. Now, sometimes they try to trick you and they'll say y equals and they won't say f of x equals, so you got to do f of x or g of x or m of x or anything of x. Watch what you do on the next line. See how it says f of 2? F parenthesis 2 parenthesis. And it does it for you. 7. Watch this next one. It says, okay, this function is called g of x and it equals x minus 8. Okay, well, it's like, well, what's g of 9? Well, back in the day, I had to do it by hand. Now you just have to learn how to use the calculator. G of 9, it tells you g of 9 is 1. Notice how it says, what's a of s? And it says s times s. Now, watch what happens. It's not going to know how to do that problem. Oh, it did know how to do that problem. I wasn't even expecting it to be so smart. It even knew how to do that problem, even though the letters were different. Wow, I just learned something new. Let's look at this next one. Okay, and then here's the formula. I don't know if this one will work. Let's try. All I'm doing is typing in the function. On the next line, I'm writing p and the coordinate 3, 5, and it still gives me the answer. How crazy is that? You just have to type it in and it's going to do it for you. That means all those arithmetic sequences, when I'm like changing the number, you don't even have to change the number. The calculator knows how to do that for you. So down here, I gave you some hints of what you need to remember how to do. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's do these really quickly. We don't need to keep these graphs, so I'm just going to click the gears and delete all of it. Okay, it says complete the function table using the f of x equals 5x. What do I type in? F of x equals 5x. Okay, well, it's like, well, what's f of negative 4? Or what is f when x is negative 4? 20, negative 20. Like, how hard is that? And it's like, well, what happens when x is 1? So I just delete the negative 4, type in 1, and it plugs 1 in substitution for me, and now I know it's 5. What is it when it's 2? 10. What is it when it's 3? All I'm doing is changing the inside number. I'm changing the input. The inside number is the input. It's the domain. What is it when it's 6? 30. What's the value when f is negative 3? Negative 3. Negative 15. What is the value when x is negative 8? Negative 8. That's all you're doing. Isn't that so crazy? Look at this one. They're like, all right, I'm going to make things hard for you. We're going to trick them. We're going to do it the calculator easy way. We're going to use mathematic reasoning. I notice that they need me to find f of negative 3, f of negative 2, and f of 4. So I'm going to just type underneath here, f of negative 3, f of negative 2, and f of positive 4. Now, all I need to do is for my function, I just need to write that in. So I'm going to delete this and type in x minus 11, and there's my answers. Okay, so I'm going to leave the rest of those two for you to do. This, it wants you to work backwards. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the other way that this is super cool. Okay, what we're going to do is X these out. So notice how every time I type the function in, a graph appeared? That's how we're going to do this next one. it says the function rule is -7 minus 5x. That's my graph. So it says, okay, well, what is the x value when it's -8? What's the y value? So I'm just going to go over to -8 and kind of scroll my little guy up, and I'm going to move my mouse until I get to x equals -8. Keep going. Boom, 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 boom. There it is. When x is -8, y is 33. Now, if you really want to trick the calculator, guess what you can do instead? Type in x equals -8, and it'll literally make the point for you to know what the other piece is. Okay? Now it says, and the other thing we also could have done is this, but I was trying to model for you using the graph. Okay? Now the next thing is, well, when y is -7, what is the x value? So I'm just going to go over here, and it says, well, when y equals -7, and you just see where it intersects. When y is -7, x is 0. And then it's like, well, what happens when x equals 3? So I'm going to type in x equals 3, and I keep scrolling until I see this intersection. Boom, there's my point, -22. What happens when x equals 7? And you could also do f parentheses 7, but I'm demonstrating graphing. The y is -42. All right, well, what happens when y is -52? So I'm just going to do y equals -52. And then I'm going to keep scrolling. There's my intersection. My x is 9. What happens, what's f of x when x is -4? So I'm going to go back up here and say x is -4. So scroll, scroll, scroll. There's my intersection, -4, 13. What is it when f of x equals 43? Watch. You can literally type in f of x equals 43. We got to go up here. And there you go. That's your intersection, -10. Like, how easy is that? It's crazy easy. I know you got this.